Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry I've been away for a little bit. I had to step away from YouTube for a little while. Had a few family issues come up. I'm sure you can tell from the title of this video that I had to make a trip back to the Kingdom Hall. Unfortunately, it was due to some tragic circumstances. I lost a family member, and they were older. They were sick and unwell, and they passed away from their illness. And I decided I was going to go to the funeral, even though it was going to be at a Kingdom Hall. I was close to this family member, and this family member did talk to me even after I left the organization. So, and it was mostly because I would go visit them while they were in hospice, and nobody could stop me from doing that because it was somebody I cared about very, very much. And it felt it felt really weird going back into the hall after not being back to the hall in about a year. But that at that Kingdom Hall, that was my old congregation, the one that I had left right after I had split congregations where my mom and her husband were going, and my siblings had continued to go to. So it was extra weird because it was that Kingdom Hall. So I hadn't been to that one. I want to say for maybe close to 7 years at that point. So it was just weird to go back, and there were some new faces there. There were some old faces still there, and a lot of people, were friendly to each other, showing their respect. My mother actually did speak to me, which was shocking, but I guess under the circumstances, with it being a funeral and everything, I guess it was okay. She felt okay doing that. However, I don't really care, but her husband wasn't speaking to me, and the spouse of my family member who died did not speak to me. Even though this person was married into the family, I was pretty close to this person. We had gone out and filled service together and everything, but they chose not to speak to me, even though I came to pay my respects to their spouse, my family member. And that did hurt a little bit, but I did expect it. When my mother did speak to me after everything, we were standing outside the Kingdom Hall, and she saw that I was kind of upset, but she said to me, "You expected this, didn't you? You knew this was going to happen if you came here, that you were going to have some people who just weren't going to talk to you." And I said, "Well, yeah, absolutely, I knew that." And it was almost like she wanted me to be thankful to her for talking to me, like, because she kept saying things like, "Well, at least I'm talking to you. At least, you're not standing here completely alone, and I got that, and that's cool and everything, but it wasn't about me. It was about our family member who had just passed, and that's really what I was there for." So I tried to remind her of that. I was like, "Mom, I really don't see any of this about me. That's why I'm not really bothered by what's happening. I'm here to say goodbye to someone I loved and I visited and, showed support to and care for very much. That's in our family." And she just wouldn't, she wouldn't let it go. That, almost like she just didn't get it, that I was looking at it that way. I don't know if she called it comforting me, or maybe she was trying to make herself feel better. I have no idea. But I don't feel any different. I don't feel badly about it. I feel like I did what I needed to do, and that was to go say goodbye and pay my respects. And I was very respectful to everybody, even though there were people who wouldn't talk to me. I did wave at people. I was bold. I waved at people. I smiled, because it's sad to lose people that we love, and we need each other at a time like that. It's unfortunate that it takes a death to bring people together, but it's even worse when at that time people still will shun you and like just write you off or look through you or pretend you're not even there, especially when they're your family members. I had other family members there who were Jehovah's Witnesses, and they knew. And it was one particular aunt and uncle that I was very close to growing up, and they are what you call the super pious Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I mean, he's an elder. She's been pioneering for like 30 plus years, and everything is like off limits. Almost everything's demonic. Like, you can't. I remember hanging out with them and bringing Edward Scissorhands to their house to watch, and I was told that it was demonic, and I had to take it back to the video store where we rented it from. Like, literally, I had to drive it back to the video store. It was crazy. Edward Scissorhands, I believe, was a machine, not a demon, but that's okay. So I mean, they looked right. They looked right through me. Even when they looked in my direction, they looked right through me. And again, I mean, while it hurt, I still kind of expected it. I was like, had to just remind myself, keep my head up, and know what I was there for. So I went over and gave my loved one a kiss on their forehead, and I know that there's a belief in a paradise, and that's what he died believing. So I wish him to rest in peace, and I do not regret going. My mother asked me, was I going to go to the repast? Now, I did not feel that would have been appropriate, only because I know that the repast was going to be at one of the elders' wives' house. She was going to host it, so therefore it was a sister of the congregation. And I knew that there were going to be a lot of witnesses there, people who knew, basically everybody knew that I disassociated. So, I mean, I didn't go because I would have honestly been setting myself up for a very uncomfortable situation. And I already went there to do what I came to do, and that was to say goodbye and pay my respects. So I think I made the right choice not going to the repast. Even though my mom kept trying to pressure me to go, I don't really know what that's all about. I'm trying to figure her out, and if she's just thriving off of this, or if she's trying to get me to come back, or I have no idea, but I don't even want to know right now. That's just going to be a whole different video for you guys, because ever since the funeral, she's been like trying to talk to me and like get me. It's interesting, she's talking to me now, but mostly it's about if I'm going to come back to the hall or anything, and if I wanted to come to the next convention with them. And I told her no thank you whatsoever. And she was like, well, I know everybody's having a hard time since the funeral. I don't know if just seeing our family member dead scared her, and now she's like scared for me or something, or herself. But death is just something that comes, and I think she's terrified, and the type of things that are drilled into your head as a witness is just fear, being afraid of everything, life, being afraid of death, being afraid of doing things while you're alive. I mean, I'm kind of feeling sorry for her, and I offered to say a prayer with her, because I was like, I can tell you're really distressed. Would you like to say a prayer together? And immediately she went back to the word she said before to me, where she said, well, I can't pray with you, but I can pray for you. And I said, well, why is that again? She said, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Yeah, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I can pray for you, but I can't pray with you. And so I said, okay, I'll pray for you as well. That was really weird. None of that makes sense to me, but I get it. I mean, I'm a Christian. I still consider myself a Christian. So, and I tell her that I'm like, I don't know what, I just don't bow down to an organization. And so, that's when we just had to end our conversation. But yeah, guys, I am back. I will be posting more videos. There's just so much to talk about. So much has been happening over the past few weeks. But I'm hoping that we can all connect again. Please feel free to still email me. I know I still owe you guys some emails. Do not think I'm ignoring you. I'm not. We had to get this funeral out of the way and get life moving forward again. So I look forward to chatting with you guys again. I promise I'll answer those emails by this weekend, and we'll continue to support each other. Take care, guys. Talk soon.